Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode from the HermitPack server. In today's episode, we are going to be taking a little bit of a break from AE2, while I'm still waiting on a lot of those circuits and things like that to be made, and we're going to create ourselves what's called an induction matrix. Now, we got our reactor going, I think it was not last episode, but the one before that. We managed to get our mechanism reactor up and running, and this thing is producing a steady roughly 2 million RF per tick. I have actually seen it stabilize at about 20 million RF per tick, so I think if I shut it off and reboot it, it would probably produce a lot more. It went down significantly when there's part of the problem right there, is our DT fuel is no longer doing things. Where's that supposed to be getting its stuff from? Well, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, oh, I lit myself on fire. Ow, that hurt, actually, quite a lot. Anyway, so this thing is producing a steady 2 million RF per tick. And a lot of you suggested that I create some sort of super energy storage bank, essentially, to hold all that extra power that I'm not using. Otherwise, I'm just wasting all this power. And what we're going to do is we're going to do that today. We're going to create what's called an induction matrix. It's from it's from Mechanism. Wow, I can't words today. It's from Mechanism, and it stores, well, much like many other things in Mechanism, it can get a little bit obscene. This thing, the one that I'm planning to build, will hold approximately 137 gazillion GRF. I think I'm assuming that's gazillion RF. A lot of RF, and it will have an input and output of 26 million RF per tick. So yeah, it's going to be a little crazy, but it's also going to be very, very expensive. If we take a look at this thing, the induction. Here we go. We are going to need 2 stacks of these induction casings. That's not too bad. I've actually got those made already. They're sitting here in the chest. I need 2 induction ports. Once again, relatively easy. Nothing major there. But then the expensive bit. I want 13 of these advanced induction cells, which each require an advanced energy cube, which each require a basic energy cube, a whole bunch of these energy tablets. Each of these advanced induction cells requires 4 basic induction cells, which requires another energy cube and 4 energy tablets. The lithium dust is actually pretty easy. I've got a fair amount of that. I created, it was like a crystallizer or something like that. No. I forget what it was called, but it was a mechanism machine that basically converts lithium into that lithium dust. It's not super hard to make. And then here's the really expensive part. I want 2 of these ultimate induction providers. Now, one of these guys requires an ultimate energy cube, which requires an elite energy cube, which requires an advanced energy cube, which requires a basic energy cube, okay? That's the easy part. Then I need 4 elite induction providers, which require 4 advanced, which require 4 basic, and so on and so forth, which means ultimately for just one of these ultimate induction providers, I need 64 advanced control circuits. I need 64 basic energy cubes. I need, it gets crazy. Long story short, there's a lot of crafting that goes into this. I do actually have a fair amount of it started. I do have 2 stacks of basic energy cubes because, as I said, I want to make 2 of those ultimate induction providers. Not just 1, but 2. So my thing can input and output 26 million RF per tick because, as I said, I've had that reactor stabilize at 20 million and stay at 20 million for quite a while. when my DT fuel production is high enough. So I want to make sure that we can actually, make use of that power. I don't want to cap it off super low. Come on, elevator. We've also been having a little bit of issues with the server doing some laggy bits and all sorts of stuff. I've done a little bit around my base to kind of try and help, removed some torturinos and gotten rid of some of my farms and some of that other kind of stuff. Am I stuck in the bed? No, I'm not stuck in the bed. Did that fix it? No, it didn't even realize that I was in bed. Let's try and sleep out here. But anyway, so I've done a little bit of tweaks and changes around my base and stuff like that. I also went ahead, a lot of you also pointed out that the dimensional transceivers that I've been using to power my whole base, the wireless energy transfer things, those guys only can input and output 40,000 RF per tick. So I swapped all of those out for these quantum entangloporters, which do not, as far as I know, have any limit. Basically, they can input and output as much as you can pump into them. So those are all swapped out. That took a while off camera. But anyway, guys, I'm going to dive into trying to make all the stuff we need for this induction matrix thing, and I'll be back with you in just a minute. All right, guys, I am back, and I finally got everything crafted. That took me a long time. I think I've been just crafting for like an hour. Okay, maybe not that long, maybe like half an hour. But either way, I finally have all the stuff that I need. And, to be entirely fair, this is overkill. This is absolutely overkill. I don't think I really need a system that holds this much RF. Like, this is overkill and then some. But, sometimes part of having fun in modded is embracing overkill and just going way above and beyond what you actually need. So what we're going to do here is we're going to make a 5x5x7 induction matrix. That's going to be the plan here. Let me just grab this. And we'll do that. And we'll just bring this guy out to here. And actually, I can... Oh, did I not make enough casings? Oh, I know what I did. Okay, hold on 1 second here. I actually made this one too deep because I was originally going to have it set back just, well... Huh... Yeah, it'll be fine like this. This will be fine. Okay, so let me bring this out like so. I'm just going to grab my illumination wand, and we'll just put one of those right here just so nothing spawns. Fill in these holes that we just accidentally made, like so. And then, right here, we'll do that. And we can always expand this in the future if we need to, which is, always a good thing. Then, we're going to bring this guy around like that. And we're going to fill in 2 holes. Let's see. I think we want them up like this. Let's just knock out these guys. We're going to put an induction port here and here. I'm going to grab my configurator and change... actually, that might not work until... Oh, it does work. Okay, cool. So, energy. I'm going to change one of these to an output. So, this is an input, this is an output. Okay? Then, we're going to go ahead and put down all these basic induction cells, like so. Wait, what? Did I... Wait a minute. What did I do? I feel like I missed something. Why are these showing up as basic? These should be showing up as advanced. I think I miscounted something. Because we were supposed to have... Oh, I wanted to have... Oh, man. Well, that is extremely unfortunate. Now, if I take this... Can I just break these that way? No. Why do these show up as basics after they break? That's a glitch for sure. It's got to be. So I guess what we'll do is something like this. And then I'm going to put an ultimate induction provider here and here. And I think, yeah, this will still form. So it's not as good as I wanted, because these guys will... I mean, we're still going to be able to hold a lot of energy, because you can actually leave some of these as air blocks, and it'll be fine. I don't know if things can spawn in here, though, which is something to think about, and I don't particularly just want to break some of these, but you can mix and match. The big thing is I wanted two ultimate induction providers, and then the rest of these induction cells, and it should be good. So let's put this guy down. And then if we take a quantum entangleporter like a so and like a so, we can set this on power. And we said this one is the input. So I'll make sure that's good. And then this one is power. And we'll set this all to input. So essentially what's going to happen is power is going to go in here. And it'll come right back out to power machines and stuff like that. But the big thing is this way, if there's anything that is just essentially spare power, it's going to end up going in here. And I don't know, why does it say input 400? Oh, I guess these quantum entangleporters do have a limit to how much they can transmit at a time. Apparently they can only transmit 400,000 RF per tick. I see. So then how in the world, if those can only transmit 400,000 RF per tick, how can you even make use of that much power that the reactor provides? Like, if we look at cables, right? If we look at like even the elite, the ultimate universal cable, this thing can only transmit 128,000 RF per tick, and that's the highest cable in mechanism. If we look at energy conduits from, Ender IO, these 128,000 RF per tick is the maximum they can output. I don't think there is anything in the Modpack that can hold or transfer that much RF, especially not wirelessly. I don't know that it's possible, unless maybe there's wireless RF battery. I mean, this would be, I would assume that essentially it's going to basically, the cap is going to be, whatever it can store, I would think. Transmits RF energy from extra utilities. Yeah, I really don't know. As far as wireless RF transmitters and stuff, I mean, really the quantum entangleporter is my best option that I'm aware of, because it can also transfer like energy and then as well as gas and items and fluids. So like for certain setups, it's very good to have, because I basically need one quantum entangleporter, and then I can run everything else into and out of it, which is very, very beneficial. But if this thing if these can only transmit 400,000 RF per tick, which seems to be the case, because that's what we're inputting here, then I don't know. What if we change that to an input and we add this on and make this power, and instead of that, we input. Does that make any difference whatsoever? No, it couldn't. It couldn't, because it's limited by the amount coming out of the reactor. So essentially, yeah, essentially there's really not much I can do. Because right here, this is our backlog. This quantum entangleporter can only transfer 400,000 RF per tick. So then it goes from here to everywhere else in the base, but that's all it can do. And I really don't know. I don't know how to increase that, because we can't really direct cable anything. We don't have anything that can transmit an infinite amount of RF power, at least as far as I'm aware. I mean, even the vibrant capacitor banks even have a limit of, I think it's 400,000. So unless I wire that induction matrix, like, as in place it, like, directly next to the reactor, which I'm not going to do because it would look terrible, I don't know that we can make use. I don't know if there's any way to actually make use of all this power that the reactor is generating. Is there anything here? Universal cables. I mean, these... I really don't know. Do you guys know of anything that transfers more than 400,000 RF per tick? Can you think of anything? Because actually, here's a question. What about quantum flux? Because we have this RF exciter. I wonder, we played around with these a while ago, and they work on the qubit clusters, I know. But I wonder, because we got the upgrades, and the upgrades, well, no, there's no way. Because we have one of those, like, hiding back here, right here, this exciter. And this thing only holds like 64 of them, I think, is the max. So there's nothing we can do. We do have this qubit cluster level 5 as well, which holds 312.5 million RF. And it's just basically grabbing the stuff from way down here, which is doing... Ooh, I thought I got rid of all my torturinos. I didn't. But ultimately, there's not... I don't know that we can even... I don't know if there's any possible way to make use of all that power. Oh! Come on. Fly. Fly as you're intended to. Stupid thing. Here's the hole in the floor that we made. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I didn't think quantum entangleporters actually had a limit to how much they could transfer, but apparently they do, because we can see it right here. We know that this induction casing has a max input of 400,000, of like 26 million RF per tick, but it does not have a max output. And this thing is this is working as intended. So our extra power is going here. It's out where it looks like we're using a total of approximately 200,000 RF per tick throughout our base. So, and that's perfectly fine. I don't know if wiring up more of these would make any difference. Like if we added more quantum entangleporters and attached them directly to our reactor to try and like basically give it more sources where it can output to. I don't know that that would make any difference. We are currently still producing... Oh, this is actually going down significantly. It's dropping. It's dropping very fast. So we're only producing about 100,000 right now. Or 200,000 RF per tick right now from this reactor. What you want to bet it's night? What you want to bet? If I take a sleep, what you want to bet this will pop right back up? Now that I've slept, yep, look at that. Bouncing right back up to the millions of RF per tick. Just like that, because those, the stuff that makes the fuel for that is running on solar. But that's an interesting conundrum. And, ultimately it's not that big of a deal, because we will be inputting and outputting and all this kind of good stuff. This is going to continue going up and up and up. But very interesting. But anyway, guys, I think that is going to do it for this episode. We played around with the induction matrix, capable of storing insane amounts of power and outputting insane amounts of power as well, although I don't really have a way to take advantage of it. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I do appreciate it, and it really helps out my channel. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. There are links in the video description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll definitely see you next time.